corner on the Rebellion Lola Toyota, that the best placed of the non-hybrid cars, but a mistake there from Nick Heidfeld. That was at Tertre Rouge, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that car, of course, is carrying those vertical turning vanes on the front.
Oh,
they
especially
put those on for Le Mans, didn't they? Whoops.
Wow, that was probably heavier than we thought.
Yeah.
He's not going to back it out. He got on the brakes. Yeah, so
where's the damage then caused to the has he been across the road here?
I'm not sure. I think he's tagged the barrier there on the inside.
Because the damage there was to the left front corner of the car. We didn't see any damage there, any impact, did we, with the left front of the car?
I don't think we saw the whole thing there, but yeah, he's tagged that, and he's done some damage to the front.
Look at it. This is a battle now for P2. Yeah. Ricardo Gonzalez has closed right up on Alex Brundle. Alex, has he just made a pit stop?
I think he has, with a Foreman 54 lap.
Well, yeah, he's always had some. He doesn't say O though. He doesn't say O for outlap. It generally says that on the data.
And Nick's got a front puncher as well, I think, from that, or something at the front. As we say, he's not knocked off that that's going to be the turning vane. That's
going to be the bodywork, pushing the bodywork back into the tyre.
Into the front tyre on the left-hand side. That's going to be very dangerous indeed. He's still got half a lap to go as well. No, this number 7 car's running well enough now. Any challenges going down into the forward chicane. Down toward the inside goes Nicolas Lapierre.
Takes Ollie Jarvis. That's for 4th place. And Jarvis
struggling. He was much slower the last lap around. Unfortunately, we don't know which tyres these guys are on. Let's see if we can find out.
Yeah, there was a nice clean pass down the inside of Ollie there, approaching the end of the lap.
Again, rain. That black cloud coming over from the west now. It's a change of wind direction since last night. Yeah, so Damien, we're going to let you go for a while. Go and see what you can find out in the pits, and Martin Haven returning to us.
Thanks, guys. It's been a blast.
Good.
I'll be back.
Catch up with you later. Yeah, you will indeed. We'll have you all through the night. So this is still watching at the moment the battle for fourth position. Duval having been now just taken by Lapierre as well. So Lapierre on a real charge at the moment. And remember, both these Toyotas have yet to make their 4th stop, making the most of their extra fuel. 3 litres extra for all petrol P1s over the diesel-powered Audis. And as we're getting ready, Jeremy, for a Toyota pit stop, I couldn't quite see which one it was, but they're all togged up, and the mechanics getting ready to go out in the pit lane. So
it'll probably be the number 8 car. That's on the last stop. That was the first one to pit. That was on lap 38. Now it's on lap 49. So once again, wow, just 11 laps.
Yeah, of course.
This round of pit stops, perhaps.
These cars are a lot lighter at the moment because they're at the end of their fuel loads. So whereas the Audis are not long fueled up.
Well, they're about halfway through their stint now. But certainly the Audi is going to make more pit stops than the Toyota, but the Toyota just doesn't have the pace at this stage in the race to come close. And last lap around, though, interesting to look at the lap times. Nicolas Lapierre to the 3 minutes, 41. As we see, that was Oliver Jarvis, I think, wasn't it? Sliding wide coming out of the Mulsanne corner. But just massive pace differentials at the moment. It's clearly, as you can see there, is quite wet over on that side of the track. And those are the 2 kinks, I think, before Indianapolis, I believe. As you can see, the damage to the front of Nick Heidfeld's Rebellion Lola Toyota. He brings that car into the pit lane. And all sorts of debris farther back as well. So he's there was obviously some big. There's more to that spin at Tertre Rouge than was met by our eyes. There's also a number 40 car going around. Ooh, crikey! It's it's really tricky out there right now. There's no question about it. It's very easy to make a mistake.
Yeah, as soon as these slick tires lose their heat, there is no grip at all, is there?
Yeah, that was Rodin Unessi there making a
theatre game. So there's the 24 car of Alex Brundle just ahead of him. Around he goes. That's the 40 car. Just runs out of talent, basically, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. He's
very low speed.
I have to say he's in over his head here.
Martin,
just briefly on that, Stracker dodged the bullet on that. The first car on the scene, and of course, what have they not got any more of? nose cones. If he'd collected the spinning car, that would have been the end of their race. So
nose or rear bodywork.
Yeah, no,
They've lost a lot.
As long as he gets T-boned, they're okay. Other than that, driver change. Sebastian Buemi getting into the number 8 car. And this car's still in second place when Ant Davidson brought it in. And it's interesting, isn't it, that they are looking like they're racing, and it's going to be tomorrow morning before the fuel pays off for Audi, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you know, already the Audis have made one more pit stop from Toyota, and they come out of the pits already ahead of the Toyotas. So, you know, it's really no contest at this stage in the game.
Well, all they got to do is keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
For about 15 days. But... Yeah, they're going to need some problems, or they're going to need to up their pace, or they have the more tricky conditions like this. We saw last lap around, they were lapping around about in the 350s. This minute, 335 for each of the 3 leading cars. Number 1, number 7, Nicolas Lapierre, and number 2, Loic Duval in the second of the Audi. So at the moment, Nicolas Lapierre running in second place. He will relinquish that when he comes into the pits, presumably on the end of this lap.
Let's just have a quick look at Pro. Stefan Mucker then for Aston Martin, leading Roman Dumas for Porsche, and Fred Makovic for Aston Martin as well. While down in AM class, it's Matt Griffin, the man from Dublin. He's leading Wolf Hensler, and who's that in the 55 car? Case, Case. That's I'm running out.
Lorenzo Casse, yeah.
Yeah, Lorenzo Casse, that's it.
So there's the Art car, number 45, Philippe Mondelot at the wheel of that car, another of the Le Mans rookies, running back in 31st place. Quick rundown, we've got Benoit Trullier now driving the number 1 car, a handy lead, 50 seconds plus over the battle for second, that is joined at the moment between Nicolas Lapierre and Loic Duval in the second of the Audis. We can see that battle right there coming into Mulsanne corner, but to Nicolas Lapierre we expect to pit at the end of this lap. In P2, Alex Brundle still leads from Lucas Luo. That's though because Ricardo Gonzalez has just made a pit stop in a number 35 Oak Racing machine. Mark.
Yep, I'm just looking further down that list. Nick Manassian's in there. I mean, we've got some top names they haven't been running in that. Nick Manassian at the moment in 6th place in P2. Of course, quite a lot of these drivers, Jan Charouz, they've all been the refugees from P1 programs that have finished, Peugeot particularly. I mean, we still got the aftermath of Peugeot pulling out 2 years ago. A lot of their drivers still looking for top drives.
And 2 very experienced drivers, Ryan Briscoe and Mike Conway, 4th and 5th in class as well in LMP2, really making a race of this. Welcome back to Eurosport's 24-hour coverage of Le Mans. As long as the race carries on, we'll be here talking about it to you. Looking at the battles in the GT class, that's the two front runners right at the front of the field. The Aston Martin Art car, Stefan Mucker taking over from Darren Turner, who started the car. And that Porsche, all those, 5 or 6 car lengths behind Jeremy Shaw, Romain Dumas, and the Frenchman making a really big battle in what is probably his last GT race, because he told us in qualifying he goes back to Weissach after this and dons his test driver hat for the LMP program.
Yes, he's very excited about that. Certainly just started development on that car just within the last week or so, and there's a lot of excitement for Timo Bernhard getting ready for next year. We just saw a glimpse there of the Jota car, number 38, Lucas Luhr, making a pit stop, coming in second place in P2, with Ricardo Gonzalez having stopped in the Oak Racing car a few laps ago. But what a job this has been by the Porsche AG Olaf Manthey team, because this car is a brand new car this year, the 991 body shell, taking over from the traditional 911 RSR, and this car was caught behind the safety car. They have this I think strange and unnecessary 3 pace car system here at Le Mans. Won't rant again, but it was a minute and a half behind the leaders at the end of the first hour of this contest. But since then, these guys have charged on back onto the tail now of the lead, this battle for the lead, Stefan Mucker and now Romain Dumas.
In fact, that Porsche was behind the Aston, and the first 3 in class were behind one safety car. It was the other Porsche that was in second place, and in fact we had a preemptive safety car rant from Timo Bernhard being interviewed in the pit saying, this is madness, which rather took the wind out of my sails, but we carried it on anyway. So this car was always in that lead group with the Aston, and it's the other one, the 91 car, which is out of touch, which dropped back that half a lap. But
thank you for that correction.
But what I mean, titanic battles at the front of all the classes. We said almost from the beginning of practice, and certainly in the second day's qualifying, if you're going to put money on any class, the only one I would even venture a bet on is the P1 class, because Audi looked like they were head and shoulders above. Even now, I'm not entirely certain you want to put a lot of money on it. In LMP2, in GT Pro and in GT EAM, not a chance you're going to put any money on anybody, because this can turn on the twist of a coin. It's so close now, and in another 20 hours it'll be just as close.
Right, so it was just these 3 cars that are still out in front of GT.
Just the top 3, and that's
fine.
why their hegemony at the top of that leaderboard has been undiminished.
Exactly, and that explains why the 4th place car is still that number 91 car. Yeah, because I had a long chat actually with Patrick Pilet, who's driving number 91 car now in the garage during that safety car period. So yeah, okay, my mistake.
He's 3-4 minutes behind. He's the better part of 3/4 of a lap back. Yeah,
simply because of the pace car system they have here. And it's such a shame. I mean, why we're racing? We're racing here for everybody, including the fans. The fans want to see a show, and for my money, the fans have been denied a show. We've only got 3 cars battling for the lead in GTE Pro, where we should have 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Anyhow, rant over.
I remember Michael Andretti being very sanguine many years ago in IndyCar. It may well have been you or Jon Biekers that interviewed him after they'd lost the lead and almost a lap from a safety car, and he said, hey, them's the breaks. Yellows are going to happen. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You can't get pissy about losing ground. And I agree entirely with you and John Hindhaugh on Radio Le Mans. We're all on the same hymn sheet, aren't we? Because we're all racing fans, and we don't see with the modern technology that cars could have on board that it's necessary, but it exists. And so, like the teams, we just have to get on with it. And the same as the Audi here, working his way through traffic, flashing the headlights, just to be doubly sure. And Ollie Jarvis, great break for him to be promoted into Audi's prototype team. He could have a very long and successful career. There's certainly no question that all of the 3 Audi trios coming here know that they've got a very good chance of winning this race. And first and foremost, of course, they want to win for Audi, but they don't want to be looking up at some other guys on that top step, right?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So that battle in GTE Pro, it's still number 97. The Aston Martin, Stefan Mucker driving. He's got a lead of about 2.5 seconds now over Romain Dumas in kind of a 92. In third place is Fred Makovecki, who's just turned the fastest lap in GT, a 3 minutes 57.535, which is a pretty good lap at this stage in the race, and there's about 12 seconds between the top 3 in GTE.
Yeah, but enjoy watching Romain Dumas today, because the last time we'll see him in GT racing, he will stop along with Timo Bernhardt after this race
so
to develop the
unfortunately,
Porsche. And Jeremy, I mean, those Penske Porsches, Romain Dumas, those giant-killing acts against Audi. I mean, never to be forgotten motorsport images from the American Le Mans series.
That's right. That was when P2, the cars were 150 kilograms lighter and a lot more horsepower. So yeah, I was talking to Ryan Briscoe about that a little while earlier, actually, and Lucas Luhr as well.
Yeah, Lucas.
Yeah, you know, they love driving those cars. That's for certain.
And they so
Lucas is still driving.
Seika. That was one of the unbelievable races.
And a whole bunch of great races that season.
All of them that season.
Well, that's what you know. That's the Minis versus the Galaxies versus the Mark II Jags, isn't it? You love a giant killing act. You like a guy who's got a little bit of get up and go and gets up and goes. So looking at the Murphy Prototypes car running down the Le Mans straight. Mark Patterson at the wheel of that car. They're just off page 1 in 25th spot. That puts them, what, 10th, 11th in their class. That very early long stop for Brendan Hartley, behind the safety car or not, cost them a lap. And Jeremy, 23 hours, you need to get a lap back. You need everybody to slow down a bit and help you out. And that the guys right behind aren't slowing down at all.
Yeah, they're not, are they? 13th place is that number 48 car, the Murphy Prototypes machine. But we've still got at least 8 or 9 cars on the same lap in P2. Mike Conway actually just moved himself up into second place.
Yeah, British 1-2 after the pit stops behind or in front of him.
Yeah, he's got his way ahead now of Mike Conway, but I fancy number 24 car owes us a pit stop. Alex Brundle in the Oak Racing machine, I think, owes us a pit stop. He has made 4 stops already. Mike Conway in the number 26 car and Ricardo Gonzalez in car number 35 have both made 1 additional pit stop.
So those 2 cars, those 2, the Morgan and the Orica, the Orica and the Morgan, even in that order, are definitely in the green as far as pit stop allowances go. Looking here at Mark Patterson, who's right behind him? Is that 31? Can't be the 31 car. Trying to identify who's behind, who's in fact now, they're both gone by him. So Patterson in the Murphy's Prototypes trying to stay on the dry line, trying to fight for position against LMP2 cars, trying not to get tripped over by an Audi as Straka driver change underway. Danny Watts gets out, and that'll be Johnny Kane getting in.
They will, and when Danny brought that car into the pits, they were ahead of both of the Rebellion Toyotas. They've done well to come back. They had problems all the way through practice and qualifying, had to start pretty much at the back of the grid in 36th position or something, I think it was, 36th position. Worked themselves fairly quickly up into 7th place overall, and they will now drop behind the 2 Rebellion cars. But certainly now, after a difficult week, the Straka HPD is almost at least on the par with the 2 Rebellion Toyotas.
Talking of which, I have finally identified the car behind the green and white Murphy's Men car, and that, of course, is Marino Franchitti in the other HPD. That's the LMP2 HPD. Now, he is 8th in the LMP2 class. So, in fact, he is about to put a lap on the Murphy's car. So Murphy's lost a lap to the leaders in class, and they're now going to be lapped by the guy that's 8th in class, and it must have been Patrick Niederhauser going by before it was, who's 7th in the LMP2 class. An early pit stop out of schedule for Murphy's. They've already done 5 stops, and I would assume, because 1 was for a puncture, they owe us a fuel stop. The Buisson-Gignon car number 40 there, that's again off the lead lap in the LMP2 class.
Yeah, the number 20.
In fact, that's 3 laps off the lead in the LMP2 class. They've had more spins, haven't they, than your average washing machine, I think.
Yeah, so
who's got coffee? Liz has.
The number 26 car, Mike Conway at the wheel of that car, that also had an unscheduled stop, a puncture for John Martin earlier in the race, but that car still back now running very, very strongly in 2nd place in P2. And Marino Franchitti is still on the lead lap. It's 2 minutes, both he and Patrick Niederhauser in the 34 car, Marino in the number 33, still on the same lap as the leaders in P2, but more than 2 minutes behind. Next car on the road behind them is number 42 car of Lucas Ordóñez.
It's very interesting that Marino spent a lap now behind Mark Patterson and can't find the speed to get by. Oh, that's an Oak car. That's the second car in class. Is that an outlap? Third car in class for Gonzalez.
No,
it's not an outlap. In fact, he's been in 3 or 4 laps, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was a little while ago he made his stop.
Yeah. Well, good to see Norbert Singer in the paddock yesterday, the man who was the legendary director of operations in the 956, 956, 962 era of Porsche. Utter domination at this race, and of course wearing an ACO shirt, so he is poacher turned gamekeeper. When Porsche return, he'll be looking over his familiar spectacles at them from the other side of the fence, rather from the Porsche garage. So that's going to be an interesting little dynamic between he who knows all the old tricks and they who are trying to invent some new ones that maybe he hasn't quite worked out yet. Couple of spinners in the last couple of seconds here at Le Mans. Oh my goodness, they're following in Jamie Campbell-Walter's tyre tracks. Literally there is the Jota car. Who's on board that? Simon Dolan or
it was Lucas Luhr.
Lucas Luhr. Okay, now when Jamie Campbell-Walter went off there earlier, it was the portent of more rain at that corner. That's the run down past Indianapolis. Here we're on board with the #1 car. Mark, if you want to talk, you're going to have to press your mic on, mate. No, you're not talking, you're just talking. And more cars off. I am going to suggest either somebody has dropped their guts or there is more rain. Both G-Drive cars off there. Ooh, let's have a look here. First chicane. Aston Martin 96.
I should off.
Yeah, there was nowhere to go there, really, was there?
No. 96 car was the innocent victim there. 26 car was it? Was it Mike Conway? Dived down the inside, carried in too much speed into the apex.
Huge amusement to the Porsche teams.
And took the number 96 car right off the road.
Lucas Luhr then. We're just talking about Lucas and the Penske Porsches, and there he is. Running out of talent or something.
Several spins there.
Yeah.
And, ironically, the sun just came out, I think, for the first time in. First time this week.
I'm just looking out the back porthole and I can see blue sky.
Sun's
it's clearing up, and we don't expect any more rain in the next few hours.
Pascal Bastelon there. We don't expect any more rain in the next few hours. The message to Sebastian Buemi in car number 8.
We can't see any cars in the field, so let's wait and see. Although, actually, Toyota were brought up short on Twitter because they said, you promised, when it started to rain, somebody said, you promised us rain in 15 minutes, and it's here already. So, electronics are a
Toyota have always been very good, actually, with their Meteor. Of course, that's a hangover from their Formula 1 days, basically the same team. So.
It's also a direct link to, of course, what we have across the road from us, which is an airport.
Yep.
They have the word. Crikey, O'Reilly, that's close.
And a thing called windows where we can see the sky and we can see if it's black, blue or white. And with the sunshine out. The sun is out at the moment. And Toyota tell us no rain for the next few hours, so let's believe them. And here's the number 8 car. That is at the moment on the hands of Sebastian Buemi, running 4th. Best of the 2 Toyotas. Alex Wirtz is on board the other one, and then behind them the 2 Rebellions, and Johnny Kane just taken over a few minutes ago from Danny Watts. So all the P1 cars have been quadruple stinting their drivers and tyres.
So we've got a bit of a battle going on for second place we haven't seen in a while. Benoit Trollier still leads by about 50-odd seconds over Oliver Jarvis in car number 3, but Loic Duval has been closing up until he just came into the pit lane.
Well, looking here at the IMSA Matmo Porsche, 3rd in the GTE AM class, and right behind him, number 2 Audi completes its pit stop.
Fuel only.
3rd in GTM class, just come out, Patrice Guibon, and right behind him, Paolo Roberti in the Porsche, not too far away.
So only 10 laps that time, I reckon, for car number 2. No, I lie. It came in last time on lap 45, so it's now 56. So 11 laps once again for the number 2 Audi. Regular service there, just fuel only, nothing more than that. Big lock-up by Oliver Jarvis.
Oh.
And driver number 32 car, who's driving that Lotus right now? He thought that's a jolly good idea. Jean Charoux, that's a jolly good idea. I'll go through there as well, thank you very much. Dives down into the escape road.
Oh, look at that. The moment Ollie touched the brakes, he knew it wasn't on, didn't he? The instant. We talked about temperatures in carbon brakes and in tyres. Was that the fronts just locking up instantly because they'd lost so much temperature on the straight?
Until that moment as well, he'd been the fastest man on the track at 3:27 in the last few laps. Duval almost matching him within 1/100th of a second.
Now, we saw the Jota Sport spinning while you were on a break, and he has come in because presumably his tyres are now more flat than they are round.
Yeah, it's Lucas Lewis still on board that car.
Lucas, Now, he's given away 1, 2, 3 places, 4 places, I think, in class by coming into the pits.
Fuel only. High-speed fuel save.
High-speed fuel save, like that. Wish my Mercedes would do that. In comes our race leader then, car number 1, Benoit Trellier. And the comforting voice of Lena Cage. This is one of the, I think, the unsung secrets of a race engineer, is no matter how much of a drama it is, to be able to just calmly give the information. That's fine. For instance, if you watched the film last year, Ben, Rocky is fine. Carry on.
Just like us, right?
Yeah,
just like us.
Let's just say a word about Lena and her cohorts at Audi. Of course, all products of technical colleges and mathematical geniuses. Silverstone University Technical College, which opens in September, they're going to try and emulate what Lena's done. They're getting young people together to be race engineers, to be involved in all aspects of racing. Neil Patterson's been recruited as a principal. He's come from McLaren. He designed the McLaren Mercedes, the Gullwing, and Neil is now there at UTC. Quick message from the Manti Porsche team. Just to confirm, they are attracting 14-year-olds from all over Britain to come to this University Technical College. 14 to 18, the college, and they will do the national curriculum of education alongside technical engineering, about race management, all sorts of things like this. And it's a very intensive 4-term-a-year course. Opens in September at Silverstone. It's been built on the circuit.
There's some great educational opportunities these days in this sport. That's the program. There's various other programs being going on at other universities around the country. There's also, if you want to be a driver, an engineer, a journalist, anything, there's another website called www.safeisfast.com, which is supported by the FIA Institute for Motorsport Safety, and it's called safeisfast.com. There's all sorts of instructional videos there. If you want to learn some tips about how to find sponsorship, how do you want to improve your braking techniques, learn about fitness in the sport, all sorts of great opportunities. Safeisfast.com.
4 hours in, Audi 1, 2, 3 at Le Mans in the LMP2 class. Martin Brundle in the Oak Racing. Morgan leads in the GTE class. It's a 97 Aston Martin that leads by a quarter of a second. Stefan Mucker ahead of Fred Machiavizzi, who's now second in the other Aston, as Romain Dumas has dropped down to third spot. A change of place there on the last lap. And in the GTE AM class, as the next page scrolls up, hooray for Ireland, because Matt Griffin is leading in the number 61 Ferrari 458. In second in that class, Lorenzo Carzé in the 55 Ferrari, and Patrice Guibon in the Porsche in third spot. So very good indeed to see Matt Griffin, his car at the front of the field. And we have lost 2 confirmed drivers. The 95 Aston Martin, we have lost that car. The Lotus, number 31 of Kevin Vida, was pulled behind the barriers, so even if it does somehow get back on track, I'm not entirely sure it will be allowed to continue in the race. 4 hours in, a mere 20 still to go. Benoit Trellier, the race leader, in number 1. In number 2 position is car number 2, Loic Duval. And in position number 3 is car number 3, Sébastien Buemi. And we're rejoined by Liz Halliday. Liz, Audi 1 is first, Audi 2 is second, Audi 3 is third. How very Germanic of them.
Yes, well, at the beginning of the race, I think they had us all very excited because Toyota was charging ahead, maybe just trying to prove a bit of a point. But now it seems to have gone back into an Audi processional, which is just how they like it down there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because we thought that maybe at the start of the race that the Audis were only going to be able to do 10 laps on a stint of fuel, and the Toyotas were probably going to be able to do 12, possibly 13. I think that was unlikely. But now it seems the Audis regularly turning 11 lap stints. So it's certainly an advantage for them, but I don't think it's enough of a disadvantage, so to speak, that the Toyota team can overcome. I don't think they can.
No, I think you're right, and I'm sure that's something that will have made Toyota a little bit unhappy, because I think they were quite hopeful they might have 2 extra laps on them. So, yeah. Well, they weren't very happy down there when I was around in the pits, that's for sure. Really? They weren't feeling very cheery.
The good news is that the number 7 car clearly has had a couple of problems early on, and at one stage Alex Werks Nicolas Lapierre ground to a halt out of the Mulsanne straight, but thankfully able to get that restarted again, and he's now running strongly. He's in 5th place, but he's only actually about 8 seconds behind Oliver Jarvis, who's just completed service in car number 3.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a fuel system problem that they had on the circuit. I don't know if you're aware of that, but that's what I got told, and they were able to get the car restarted, and then it seemed to be fine. So
did Control-Alt-Delete worked then, as so often? Yeah. Like everything else computerized.
Push these 3 buttons
turn
at
it back
once
on
and
again.
let us know what happens. Yeah.
Well, again, we still have not found out. Oh, look at that aviating art car. We still have not.
Look at the mirrors flexing.
My goodness. That's fantastic.
Hyper slow-mo. Watch when it touches down and the shimmer goes through the body. We still haven't found out how far it'll go on the electric drive. That was the perfect opportunity to show it off to us. Of course, much quicker if we can get the engine restarted. Anyway, it is still Audi 1, 2, 3, and Toyota giving chase. Martin Haven, Liz Halliday and Jeremy Clarkson, apparently. How can you possibly mistake Jeremy Forshaw for Jeremy Clarkson?
Who's on that?
Say in the world.
What?
In the world.
In the what?
No, never mind. You see?
Who's mistaken him for that?
I don't know. We have some very strange listeners. Hey, welcome back to Le Mans on Eurosport.
I'd much rather be commentating next to this Jeremy rather than Jeremy Clarkson. No offence to Jeremy Clarkson, but, you know, I've worked with him before.
He's not here. Oh, but he is.
If you're listening, Jeremy Clarkson, you know, you're a lovely guy. No
on board with the Audi now in 4th place after Ollie Jarvis made a fuel stop. Sebastian Buemi's Toyota moves up to 3rd behind Audi's number 1 and Audi number 2. And our LMP2 leader on pit road, Alex Brundle, will stay in. They were going to double, the guys. So double stint, change tyres, double stint, get out. And Mike Conway now vaults back to the top. And this is a real seesaw battle because as Gonzalez now moves up to 2nd, David Hannemeyer Hansen gets into the number 24 car. So from what Baby Brundle was told, or what he told us he was told, they don't seem to be doing double eaches. They're doing a double stint and out. I got the impression that he meant they were doing a double stint, change tyres, double stint, and then get out, so 4 stints in a row, while they were young and fresh.
It's very possible that some of this has all been thrown out of the water because the conditions were so odd. I mean, everybody I talked to was going, well, we're going to try and leave the one driver in while we're figuring out what tyre we're going to end up on, and once, because they were all expecting to be on slicks.
0.5 seconds ahead of Audi number 3, you're maintaining the gap.
Yeah, I guess he is just about.
They're just telling him to maintain the pace he's doing because he's got a decent lead ahead of Audi at the moment, or decent enough anyway.
So you never hear that in Formula 1. You know that thing you're doing, keep on doing it.
That's a cool shot, isn't it?
That's a great shot. These helicopter shots just show you what this is. It's a public road in the middle of beautiful rolling farmland, and once a year it becomes the greatest amphitheatre for motor racing the world has ever known.
I think I can tell you partly why they don't do that in Formula 1, because the races are not 24 hours, and some of this is going to be, you can tell by the lap times, they're not doing, you know, qualifying lap times. They're not doing their absolute fastest possible, so they're going to say to him, the pace you're doing now is working, so stay there, which is that little bit safer than qualifying.
Slow car on the track, car number 33, slow on the run between Arnage and the Porsche curve.
And that's Marino Franchitti.
Yeah, well, Mino was struggling to get by the lapped number 48 car of Mark Patterson, still hasn't, I think. And I wonder whether that's, well, a slow car is never good news for the team, is it?
No, that's really not. I mean, we don't know what's happened yet. We hope to find out.
Well, now, here's our new leader. Let's see if we can get a really close look at the number 26 car. Don't forget Mike Conway, IndyCar racer, but a rookie here at Le Mans, and I've forgotten to tweet it. He has got a great, unique helmet. His helmet has been painted as if it is an old-fashioned leather helmet with chin strap and with a scarf around the bottom of the face, and goggles pushed up on the top of the helmet, and squashed flies on the front of it. And the goggle strap that goes around the back has got a painted-on bit of gaffer tape to hold it on.
Brilliant.
And the Bell helmet logo is peeling off, and it's just a wonderful piece of artwork. And it's enough that you've got a guy who's coming into an amphitheatre that, you know, with so much focus on it as Le Mans does, in a team he's never driven with, in things he's never done, and he's had the presence of mind months ago to commission somebody to paint him a special helmet. What a great gig.
Do we know who did the helmet?
No,
I would love to give them a big... If any of you out there know who painted his helmet, please tweet us and let us know, because we'd love to give them a little big up on air.
Alan Docking was gleefully showing it to us this morning, wasn't he, Jeremy? And he was saying, when he comes down pit road, it genuinely looks as though he's pushed the goggles up onto the top of his helmet as he's been slowing down.
Fantastic.
Great work of art.
Tell you what, we've got a battle going on now in GT. With a bit of luck, we're going to have a look at that. We've got Stefan Milker still leads in car number 7, the Aston Martin, but now up into 2nd place is his teammate Fred Macavecchi. He qualified that car on the pole for the 2nd year in a row. He did the same in the Ferrari for luxury racing 1 year ago. Now he does it again for Aston Martin, almost a whole second clear of anybody else in the class, and he's done the same in this stint. Fred Macavecchi, he's taken over the wheel of the number 99. He's passed the number 92 Porsche of Romain Dumas, and is now almost onto the tail of his teammate Stefan Milker.
And 2 seconds a lap faster than last one. That's an impressive gap.
Meanwhile, fuel pole for Jonathan Bomarito in the second of the SRT cars. And SRT is to Chrysler what AMG is to Mercedes, if you like. It's the high-performance tuning arm. There is no Dodge Viper. It is only an SRT Viper. And is there damage on the nose of that Ferrari as he turns in across the Aston Martin? There might be damage on the tail. Yeah. Is that 71?
Yes,
Just
a lap down.
Him? Yeah,
a lap down.
And should we name names? Kamui Kobayashi, the famous card player.
Really?
I was talking to the PR girl at Ferrari, and I said, how's it going? She said, it's so chilled. I've never known so chilled a team. She said, I just was in the hospitality unit. Kamui Kobayashi is there playing cards with his friends and family, looks at me and goes, do you know when I'm in? No, don't ask me. I'm in the PR girl. I'm sure they'll get me when they need me. How un-Formula One has he become in about 3 weeks?
Yeah, and that number 71 car, don't forget, that served a penalty for an incident on pit lane in the early stages of the race. For unsafe release, had to do a stop and go. So that's why he's a lap down and charging hard, trying to get that lap back. And that's one way of doing it, chopping across the front of the Aston Martin. But meanwhile, Fred McAvecchi, I mean, that 3 minutes 54.639 last time around, that's a new lap record, track record, race record for GTE Pro for the Frenchman.
Well, that just shows
mighty impressive.
That shows how fast those Aston Martins are.
And Kamui on the dirt, a lap behind. This is the lead battle. One is through.
McAvecchi, great classic over-under, huh, Liz?
Team radio, Kamui, please let the Aston by.
Wow, no, this is real racing. And what you've just seen there is what Le Mans is all about. We've got an LMP2 car that was coming through, 3 GT cars racing, and a GTE AM car, I think, in front that they were trying to get past. So this is, anybody that thinks this is processional racing is crazy.
Now, how long has Stefan Mucker been in? Because Fred McAvecchi's only been in relatively recently. Is Mucker getting to the end of a stage? Is Mako on fresher tyres? Oh, look at that. Do you know, that's why he drove a Formula One car the way he did, because he's got reflexes to die for, Kamui.
No, I don't think Stefan Mucker is coming to the end yet, unless they're doing shorter stints, because when I was in pit lane, he was getting ready to get in the car, and that was probably about an hour and a half ago, but I would expect, yeah, exactly, or 3. I would expect I would expect that team to keep them in for quite a long time. Now that the conditions are cool, they're finally on slick tires, I would expect him to be in for quite a long stint.
Good call from Liz Halliday. Ollie Jarvis closing in on Sebastian Buemi. Is this a change for second?
And yet another fastest sector time.
Not yet. Over the brow into the Porsche curves. Very polished just before turning. Blue lights flashing. They got a Chrome Ferrari. They got the KRP, KPR, KPM, whatever it is.
KCMG.
No, that's not the KCMG car.
DKR.
Yeah, that's it. The DKR. Really, the Audi.
Wow, you're all right there, Martin.
The Audi caught him in all sorts of the wrong places, didn't he? And through he goes, but he's lost.
Who was that coming in the pit lane?
They just go in the dirt.
Gravel, no, right in front of us. Where is it? Right there. Yeah.
Oh, it's an Aston.
No, really?
No, it's not. It's a Viper.
It's a Viper.
It's
number
the Viper.
53 Viper.
Who's in?
Dominic Farnbacher.
Oh, Dominic.
Oh, really?
Second best hair in the field, and
he's a very good driver.
And he's stuck in the gravel as well.
Yes, he has.
I think.
Oh, change of the lead in GTE Pro. Let's stop looking above our screens and out of the window. And hurrah, Fred McAvecchi. Good move on Stefan Mucker. Change of lead. Hey, Olivier, our producer, is doing a staggering job so far with the pictures.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Now, the chief of production here is responsible, the chief producer here is responsible for our World Touring Car pictures, also in Eurosport, but doing a really great job here. I've got to say, heads up to these guys. And look how much gaffer tape's already on the front of that 53 car. He's not got an engine, has he?
Oh, no, well, that's not good.
Well, now, he is in a dangerous position, so they will have to retrieve him from that, and he should be able to get back to the pit lane. Meanwhile, lead battle is all over the Oak that is now, that is now the leader in class, isn't it? The 35 Oak Morgan Racing car.
It is. Ricardo Gonzalez driving that car now. David Heinemeier Hansen taking over the wheel of the number 24 car. And Pierre Thirier up to 3rd place in the P2 class now in the TDS by Thirier.
All new.
All new.
TDS by Thirier Racing
all newish. all new to them.
Indeed. Now, there was an Aston Corvette battle just there. What are we missing? Dominic Farnbach has just dropped another place, so they did have to rescue him. Now, the question is, can he get it going? If he can get back into the pit lane. Oh! No. Sorry, I thought that was the driver right in front of us. It wasn't. It was one of the rescue crews just walking around.
Wow, he would have had to run pretty far.
Well, no, he's got quite groovy hair as well, and it's the same colour. It's not quite as groovy as Dominic's,
Not quite as groovy, no. And Dominic Farnbach, who I actually only just met recently the other day, I've raced against him for years. The nicest guy, absolutely lovely, I have to say. I'll give him that. Really, really great guy.
A gem. And
I am married.
He put that car on the pole position at Long Beach. So look at this battle here.
For third, here he comes. A lap ago, traffic got in the way of Ollie Jarvis, but now it doesn't. He gets Sebastian Buemi in his sights, dead to rights, and through he goes. And Liz, not the easiest place to go by on the run into Indianapolis.
No, definitely not. One of the highest speed corners in the entire circuit. Really brave to be going through there. I'd put that up there with passing on the first bit of the Porsche curves.
Big cojones. Big cojones for Ollie Jarvis. And again, you know, who knew when he was this willow kid in single-seaters that he might end up contending to win Le Mans? He didn't, that's for sure. The lights will change on that Toyota. They'll go off, and Ollie Jarvis will suddenly spout 3 red lights. Third place now, Audi 1, 2, 3 at Le Mans. Looking at our leader in the GTE class. In fact, is this the AM cars? No, it's not. It's the, which is this? Again, trying to find out which battle this is. Thank you very much. It's Billy Oberlin versus Antonio Garcia. First time ever in an Aston Martin in a race for Bill Oberlin. Much more familiar. We've seen him race here, of course, with Tommy Milner, with Tom Milner's PTG group, the BMWs, and he's spent a lot of time in the States racing BMWs, but loving the torque of this car, he said. It's just a beast.
And look at this. I mean, we understand that the Corvettes have been really struggling against the Aston, but look at Antonio Garcia. He is right up the backside of this Aston Martin, which has been consistently a lot quicker than the Corvettes, but Antonio Garcia is an absolute master behind the wheel of a GT car. I've not met many guys that can drive one like him.
Now, how far are they behind Matteo Malicelli, which is basically the leader, the 51 Ferrari, in the group that was behind the second safety car, if you like, in the second group of GTE cars.
Right, we'll have to wait till they're coming through the Porsche curves now.
2 minutes nearly, I reckon.
Yeah, it took quite a while. Yellow flags we've got.
But this is the battle for 4th and 5th place in GT, and actually closing in behind them also, I think, that was Patrick Pilet as well. If we see, yeah, there he is.
We'll see yellows in a minute, because it's right down at the last corner. Oh, my Lord, that's the Murphy's car.
Very close.
Another car was escaping stage.
I wonder
right.
if that's oil, if something's down.
No, there were 2 cars off there.
Corvette's in the pit lane, so that takes the pressure off Bill Auberlen for a moment, although, of course, there does seem to be Patrick Pilet's Porsche there as well, jumping the curb. So, yeah, for about 1 corner there, as he saw the Aston peels off. Great. Oh, my Lord, there's the Porsche there too.
And Patrick Pilet was looking forward to being out there on slick tyres, and he's definitely pushing hard.
Here we go. This is the battle for 5th place. Wow. And around them goes the Toyota.
Oh.
Yeesh, down the inside, the Alan McNish line. Yeah. And look how much quicker the prototypes are. I mean, just
see you later.
And, you know, these GT cars that look pedestrian when a prototype goes by, compared to anything you've ever driven or been driven in on the road, would scare you witless with their grip and speed in corners and braking and acceleration, and yet the prototypes blow by like they're milk floats.
And you should actually understand how fast they are through the S's. I mean, once you've exited the Dunlop chicane, it is absolutely flat to the boards through the S's in a prototype. But in a GT, I'm sure they're going to have to give it a little bit of a breathe in some of them.
Got the inside line.
The average lap speed for the GTE cars around here is 130 miles an hour.
Average, bearing in mind
for the GT cars.
Bearing in mind how slow some of these corners are.
I mean, isn't that amazing?
That's just a staggering.
A GT car, and the average of 130 miles an hour is exactly as you say, how slow many of these corners are.
And I think the reason for that is that we've got these very, very long straights here at Le Mans that are very, very fast.
Yeah.
And also corners like Indianapolis, and the Porsche curves are very fast throughout. I mean, really, you never drop out of 5th and 4th gear through the Porsche curves.
Now, to show how far these cars drop behind with the second safety car, this is the battle for 5th, right? Have you seen what's behind them?
Yes, I did. I was just about to say that.
The former leader who just came into the pits and came back out.
What I'm really happy about, though, is that we're having a real battle in GTE Pro and in AM. I was really worried that with how strong the Aston Martins had been, I was afraid we weren't going to have that fabulous battle that we had last year. But I think we're still going to have one right to the end.
It's not our sole Lotus, it's our number 12 Rebellion. In fact, it's Fred Makovici, who just took the lead of the GTE Pro class, to go back to that Aston Martin that was dropped behind. He just lost the lead again by going straight into the pits. But, I mean, that's the way you race. You race hard every lap, no matter whether it's an in-lap or not. If you pass somebody, damn it, you're going to get past them. Picon car of Luis Perez Compact, and right behind him, Lucas Luhr in the Jota Sport car. Jota won the 3-hour race at Silverstone, which was truncated to only an hour and a half of racing by rain and an eventual red flag. That was their first major sports car win. So they come here with a big, big feather in their cap, and they're battling at the moment for 5th position in that class.
Dr. Ulrich, the conditions out there are quite tricky. What is the feedback from the drivers?
Yeah, as you say, it is really tricky. And for many hours now, the track condition changed during one lap several times. So I think it's a really, really tough job for the drivers. And the ones that left the car now, they really are tired and really are stressed, because it was not easy to stay on the racetrack under these conditions.
Well, just to thank the flood of Twitter viewers who are listening to us here on Eurosport and know a lot more than we do. Apparently it was UK-based designer Jason Fowler, at Jason Fowler JLF, who did Mike Conway's helmet. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, stunning piece of kit. So, Lizzie, next time you need, yeah, exactly. When you want a hard hat for riding, you can get one done to make it look like you're on Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Well, I am in fact going to get a new racing helmet soon, and I will perhaps go there.
Well, you can follow him on Twitter as well. So awesome job by that. And for those who wanted to ask, we're talking about rookie Mike Conway, who's had the presence of mind to have a special Le Mans helmet made to make him look like one of the great old men of Le Mans. Looking at the battle of the number 2 Audi And behind him, Pecom versus Murphy. Now, the Murphy's car was backwards last time he came past us. And the Murphy's car is still a lap down. Mike Patterson has just gone in and out of the pit. Oh, he's just gone into the pits. How do we see him on screen?
Well, incidentally, Stefan Mucker in that last lap has just done his fastest lap so far.
Oh, sorry, it is the Jota car. It is a battle for position. It is Lucas Lohr, ex-Audi factory driver, ex-Porsche factory driver, and before an Audi factory driver, he was a Porsche factory driver then as well. And hasn't been a BMW factory driver yet, but you know, there's time left. With the Jota, takes away 5th in class from Luis Perez Companc. It is David Hannemeyer Hansen who leads in the Morgan, the Oak Morgan, and Fred Mako back in the pits. No, it's not. He's in the golf car, of course. That's the
Mucker.
Yeah, Stefan Mucker, sorry, in the art car. Yes, I'm getting my Astons again. Apparently, I'm getting my Brundles confused. Apparently, when I said Alex, it sounded on the television as though I said Martin.
No, you didn't. You said Alex. Definitely. Yeah. I'll back you up on that one, Martin.
Apparently, numerous times people heard Martin. So either my brain isn't working or their brains aren't working, and only some of us are drinking alcohol, and it ain't us.
A couple of notes here from Twitter. Colin Fisher says, as usual, would we be good enough to give out a mention to the boys and girls, the Clubman's Register, who are here this weekend. Clubman's, of course, a classic English category of racing.
No chance of that, I don't think.
No, none whatsoever. No. Sorry about that, but we tried. Tell you what, one of my fondest memories was with the Clubman's cars. We had an outing to Zandvoort, middle 80s, and boy, that was a fun experience. We were racing there along with the European Formula 3 cars, Gerhard Berger, Emanuele Pirro, and amongst others. And our cars, I was lucky enough to drive on a few Chamberlain's cars that weekend. It was so much fun, and our cars were about a second slower than the Formula 3 cars. Budgetary difference, quite a lot.
Yeah,
amount of alcohol consumed during the weekend,
quite a lot. Yeah. I'm sure it was down to machinery, absolutely. And I'll tell Hugh that next time. That's the only time I've ever seen you in a race was in a Clubman's car at Silverstone. You were racing the likes of Will Hoy, Lake Will Hoy, Crichton Brown, Ray Mallock. Yeah, some really, really great races and great engine. And of course, it was Arthur Mallock, Ray's dad, who created Clubman's by building his flood of Clubman's cars, the Mallock dynasty of cars, by building his first ever U2, which Ray rebuilt in the factory a couple of years ago and went out and raced and scared himself silly. And so
I was lucky enough also to have the original Mark 9 Formula Ford car they drove, as we see number 93, yes. 53 Viper into the pit.
So got retrieved from the gravel, and he has managed to get it going as well, Jonathan Bomarito, and that would be a battery going in. So part of the issue was that it wouldn't restart.
Also gravel removal, yes. It looks like. Right now you can hear a hoover going, and I think they're actually hoovering out the gravel.
Well, now, see, here's the thing. If you bring the car back full of gravel, I'm suggesting it should be the driver that hoovers it out. So Dominic Farnbacher should be using that to hoover out his own muck from the car. His demise, of course, moves a few AM cars further up the order, but I would think the Viper will go back out. They're trying to do everything they can to get that car back out. And, of course, for those of you who may just be joining